Everybody, welcome back to Cedar Creek Homestead. My name is Josie. It's been a while since we've spent time together, and I finally got a little bit of time to get out here to spend with you. You can tell that I'm in the farm truck with the steering wheel, and it's late evening, late afternoon anyways, and it's kind of crazy in the house with supper. They're fixing jambalaya tonight, and I'm not a fan of that, and so I thought, well, I'll just slip out and do my video and spend a little bit of time with y'all. It's been a minute since we've been on here to share any time, and I had all intentions of having videos throughout the Christmas season, doing projects and making treats and party foods and things that would give you ideas and inspire you to do some of those things with your own families. But I tell you, sickness has hit here, not just in our home, but in our community, in the school system, in our church. Some of it's been flu, some of it's been stomach viruses, some of it's been COVID. In fact, our church had to cancel their candlelight services on Christmas Eve because there was COVID exposure, and some of our members came down with it. And our family had sickness, but I don't know that we had that. None of us got tested, but we did, out of an abundance of caution, canceled any kind of festivities that we were having here at our house, except for the people that actually lived here, that we were already here together, quarantining together, being exposed to one another. And so it was our little family, me, Blade and Cheyenne and the children. And then Cheyenne's little sister had a car accident, and she's here with us. She's okay. She didn't get hurt, but she's been here with us, and we've enjoyed having her, and she's going to be staying with us for a while. And so she was able to be here. Cheyenne was able to enjoy spending time with her. They walked through a little bit there. They lost their grandpa right around that time. He passed away. And like I said, we've all been sick. I started feeling better, but then I lost my voice and didn't have any kind of volume that I could bring anything to you that you would even be able to comprehend or understand what I was saying with the shape that my voice was in. And I'll be honest with you, this 4 years ago in 2020, this very time of the year, December, was when we were sick with COVID. And on December the 30th of 2020 was when I lost my Howie. He lost his battle with COVID. And it was hard on me this year. I tried my best to hide it from the family because I didn't want to, cast any gloom on any kind of holiday that we were able to have. But it was fresh. It brought up a lot of memories, a lot of the just waiting, because as you know, any of you that had members in your family that were sick with it, that were hospitalized, you know that they were isolated, and we didn't get to make contact with them. A couple of days before he was put on a ventilator, I did get to see him through his window and got to speak to him before he was put on the vent and was kept sedated. And so it was a fresh wound, but I know that I was blessed to be his wife, and I'm doing okay. I've got the kids, and I've got the grandkids, and we've enjoyed having to be here all together, not, quarantining and not being out. We've played games, and we've put puzzles together, and we've done all kinds of things that really allowed us to enjoy being around one another and spending time with one another. That Blade was on vacation, and he has had a little bit of a health setback, and he's back at work now, but he's had some testing, and he had to have an ultrasound done and have some radiology reports taken, and we're waiting on test results for those. So if you are praying people, we would request that you pray for Blade, that his test results will turn out all right. And I can't really go into any detail right now because we don't know, but we do know that we're praying and that we're trusting that things are going to turn out all right for him. And my mama's heart goes out there because, well, he's my son. So anyway, we desire your prayers for Blade. We're just going to trust that things are going to be all right, and we're moving forward. We're moving into this new year, 2025. I had to write it for the first time on Sunday at church. I'm the church secretary, and so I had to write 2025, and what a strange thing it is. And what crossed my mind was how quickly it was that 2024 passed, and how it wasn't just a short time ago that I was thinking how strange it was to write 2024, and now we're writing 2025. Time surely does fly. My granny always said the older you get, the faster it goes, and I believe that she knew what she was talking about. I have some goals this year. I'm sure that y'all have set goals for yourself. Some people set resolutions, make New Year's resolutions, but we set goals and try to make things that we know need to be done for the homestead, need to be done for the home, need to be done for our families, for our health. And we make those goals something that we're working on. And my Howie had a book, and that he kept it in the top drawer of his dresser. And every year he would write down what the goals were for the coming year. He might have fencing projects, or he might have projects to do with the chickens or the cows, or wanted to do something special with the tractor, or remodel something in the house. And he always wrote those things down, and those were goals for him, and goals for us as a family. And he didn't always set goals that were unachievable. He didn't set himself up for failure. He did things that he knew might be a little bit challenging, but they were doable. And so I try to do that as well. I try to think of things that I know there are things that need to be done this coming year. They might be a little bit challenging, but I don't want to set myself up that the entire year I'm constantly failing, constantly falling down on something. Now, being healthy, that's a given. Every year, it's, need to be healthy. And we are shifting some of our ideas on things. We try to be an ingredients household. We're trying to even get more so that way. There are things that the boys enjoy from the grocery store, crackers and different cookies and different things that I want to work my best this year to come up with alternatives for those as while they're young, so that they learn that the homemade tastes better in their opinions and in my opinion than what they would if you went and bought them at the store. Now we preserve things, and of course we use salt and we use vinegar and we do all these different things that preserve, but we don't have all of those bad chemicals and those food dyes. And Blade has really been studying a lot on food dyes, and especially Rowdy seems to be really sensitive to some of the additives to foods and in his behavior. Not that he's a terrible kid, he's not, but he definitely gets it gets rowdier when he has certain things. And so Blade is trying to weed those things out. He's trying to do all that he can and direct us and encourage us to do the same thing, to be better eaters, to be cleaner eaters, so that we can eliminate those things that are causing trouble in our health. Now, for me, sugar is a big issue because I'm a diabetic. And so there's lots of things that I need to watch. There are, there's food allergies and there's sensitivities and other countries have really taken the lead really on a lot of these additives that are in our foods that we need to do our best to get away from. So that's one of our goals this year, is to try to find ways to replace the things that has been traditionally in our diet. And not that we want to just strip everything away from the kids, but we want to introduce it in such a way that they're still enjoying, they're still getting to have treats, but they're learning to like the taste of the food as whole and as good as it can be without all of the added stuff, without all the things. Blade's a stickler on cereal. Cereal is one of the things the store-bought flavored cereals, the fruity cereals, the sugary cereals. He's really stickler about not buying the kids that kind of stuff and trying to stay more traditional and introducing things, oatmeal and granola and things that the kids, that it would be better and healthier for the children and for us as well. So I decided that there were some things that I wanted to discuss with myself and with you guys, and maybe encourage you to do some of the same things that I'm talking to myself about. And one of the things that I wanted to do was to fess up. Fess up to any shortcomings or things that I'm lacking. Not to bring condemnation, not to beat myself up, not to just keep on, pointing a finger at myself, but to really work on things that is going to make me a better person. Fess up to the things that cause me to trip up. Maybe I'm short-tempered. Maybe I don't have enough patience. Maybe, whatever the case may be. And maybe you need to fess up too. You don't have to go, in front of your church or make an announcement at the grocery store or whatever, but fess up to yourself and to the Lord. Fess up the things that are causing you to trip up, the things that may keep you from making some of those goals this year. Maybe you're kind of lackadaisical. Maybe you're kind of last minute, or you're dragging your feet, or whatever it may be. Fess up to those shortcomings and try to do better. I know that I need to fess up, and I have fessed up in some of the shortcomings that I have, and trying in this new year 2025 to do better and to be better. The next thing that I would say is show up. Even when all the pieces haven't came together yet, just show up. We think in fitness goals, you have to go to the gym, you have to walk, but if you don't ever go, if you don't ever show up, then the work is not put in there. And we need to make sure that we're not waiting for perfect weather. Sometimes we won't do something unless the sun is shining, or we won't do something unless it's this way or it's that way, or the perfect temperature or whatever. Really, we just need to show up. Just show up. Show up at the thing, and the next day show up again. Whatever we've got lots of projects. We have a lot of farm projects. We have a lot of garden projects, and that garden, it's sitting up there, and it has that that garden cloth on it, and things are just there, and it needs a good cleanup, and there needs to be some things that changed around and moved around. And we think, oh boy, it's cold right now, we're expecting snow on Friday, and boy, I don't know if I really want to get up there in the weather. Well, you're not going to meet those goals and be ready for the springtime if we don't put in the work now, if we don't show up and do the work right now. The next thing that I'm going to work on is just stepping up. Sometimes even when we're scared, if we'll take that first step, if we'll just step up. I think about little kids when they first start playing baseball or softball, either one. And then you'll see these little kids that they're into it. They're not scared of anything. But then you'll see other kids that are scared to death of getting of stepping into that batter's box and getting up there and getting their bat ready for the pitcher to pitch the ball to them. And sometime, really, in reality, we just need to do it even though we're scared. We need to step up. There's lots of projects. There's lots of goals. There's lots of resolutions, whatever you're calling it. There's lots of things that we have thought about that's been laid on our hearts that we need to do this year. You know, maybe you're being called to do something and you just don't know because there's a fear there. But one of the things that we can do is just step up to the plate, even though we're scared. Even though, you know, sometimes you'll see those little kids shut their eyes and they just, you know, kind of chop with the bat when the ball is coming. And as they keep stepping into the batter's box, keep stepping in, before long, they're able to stay there and wait for that pitch. Sometimes they'll back out. And sometimes we do the same thing. We have a project, we have a goal, we have something that we're working on, whether it's diet or, you know, learning to drive that tractor over there or whatever the case may be. We'll step up to the plate and we'll be real brave and we'll do it once or twice. And people are thinking, oh, they're making progress. And then we step back out of fear. And we need to step up. And I'm preaching to myself. All of these things that I'm bringing you, I'm preaching them to myself. I got to thinking about them the other night and I thought, these are the things that I need to do. I need to step up. The next thing I need to work on, and we all need to work on, is to wise up. You know, sometimes we are easily persuaded, and sometimes we listen and we begin to think about things that aren't really doing us any good. Sometimes it's a discouragement. Sometimes it's a whisper in our ear of, that's stupid. That's dumb. Why are you making that one of your goals? Everybody's laughing at you. But the truth of the matter is that we need to wise up and we need to pay attention to the one who's speaking to our heart. We need to know what, as Christians, we need to know what the Lord is whispering to us, and we need to act on that. We need to learn all that we can. We need to know that there's a difference in knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is good. You can read, and we all have Homestead books and magazines and all of those things. And I love them as much as the next person. I've got seed catalogs coming in and I pore over them, and the knowledge is there, but we have to apply the knowledge. That's why the wisdom is so important. If we don't have the wisdom to apply the knowledge, then it just sits there. I can know every seed in a seed catalog. I can know all about their growing conditions. I can know what they say works for it, what they're best in what zones, how much sun they need, how much shade they need, how much water they need, how much fertilizer. I can know all of the things by reading in magazines and in books and online. All that information is there. But if I don't apply it, if I don't use that wisdom, if I don't say, well, I mean, if I'm going to grow it, I need to get it put in the ground and I need to provide the conditions that it needs. I need to fertilize and I need to water and I need to pray and have the sun shine on those things. We have to apply the wisdom, not just in gardening, but any project. Maybe there's something at work that you're working on, or something in your family or in your health, or whatever the case may be. Wise up. The next thing I would say for me, and possibly you too, is to fill up. Fill up on the good things that God has given us. Fill up on the fruits of the Spirit. We all need those. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, meekness, self-control. All those things are important fruits that we fill up on and let ourselves be saturated in, so that we put forth good fruit when others are around. They're seeing the good fruits. Everybody needs patience. Everybody needs peace, kindness, gentleness. We need those things. You know, we had the elections not too long ago, and I think a lot of people are thinking the We have two households of belief here. One thinks everything is going to go to pot, and the other thinks that everything is going to get better just right off the bat. The truth of the matter is this going to take time and it's going to take effort for things to improve. And not any one person is going to change everything for the better. We put people too high on a pedestal. Either side. I'm not putting I'm not naming any names. I'm just saying trust in the Lord and fill up on the good things. Fill up on the things that can be beneficial to others, be beneficial to ourselves. It's beneficial to live a life of peace and joy when you can be happy with what you have. So many people are chasing after things that really isn't going to be beneficial to them at all, but they're chasing after it because the neighbors have it, or the people down the road have it, or the people they work with have it. So I want it too. I want 3 cars and I want a bigger house. I used to, when I was young, I used to think that I wanted a great big old house with just a gourmet kitchen and all of the things. Not saying that that's not nice or wouldn't be nice, but it's not necessary. You can make it. You can live. You can be happy with where you're at. You can be happy with what you have. You can be satisfied. A lot of people aren't satisfied and they want more, more, more. And it's driving them to spend more time away from home, picking up extra work, picking up extra jobs, going in debt for things that they don't really need just to keep up. And it gets us all in turmoil. And I say fill up on the good things of the Lord. And of course, we need to store up the things that are good for you and your family. Store up the things that is going to be beneficial to you, is going to help you in the future, the things to come. You don't have to be like crazy about things and have 150 gigantual packages of toilet paper, but be wise about what you're doing and store up. Our ancestors, our grannies and our grandpas and our others that came before us, they stored up. They made sure that their pantry and their root cellars and their supplies were full, and they were stored up because they'd been through some stuff. People went through depression, they went through wartime, they went through sickness, they went through things, and they knew that it's better in those times when you're not having to chase after supplies that you need, if you can know that those things are there and they're taken care of and that you've made an effort. I think the Lord honors and blesses those that try, like the little ants that work all summer long and put all the things up and not out playing and jumping from flower to flower like the grasshoppers, but are working and putting up. And not that you don't enjoy life. We all know that we want to enjoy life. But let's put a little bit of effort, conscious effort this year in storing up some things. And maybe it won't even be beneficial to us, but be beneficial to others if we can help others. I know that our food pantries around here are staying busy. We can put food in there and it's gone within a day or two. And of course now it's cold temperatures, and I think I said this a while ago, we're expecting up to 7 inches of snow on Friday. Don't know that we'll get it. It may be a total bust. But we need to prepare for those things. We need to be prepared. If it's going to do these kind of things, do we have backup if the power goes out? Are we able to keep our family warm? Are we able to help others? Are we able to, give somebody a blanket or give them a coat or maybe a pair of shoes for their feet? The Bible tells us to do those things, to not just pat somebody on the back and say, well, bless your heart, we're praying for you, but to do something. Put feet on those prayers and do the thing. The next thing I would say is I need to gear up. Put the things that I've learned into action. Get those things that are going to help me around the farm, in my household, out in the community, gear up and be prepared. Be prepared. Those in the military service, they gear up. Those that are police officers, they gear up. And my Howie was a firefighter, and he geared up. He had things that had a big old bag that he kept his supplies, and he had his turnout gear at the fire station, and he geared up. He knew what was required, and he maintained those things. And we need to maintain those things too. Gear up with the things that is going to be beneficial to us, and to maintain those things. Whatever happens to be in your life. There's equipment that you have to maintain. There are, we have to maintain ourselves, our bodies, ourselves physically, emotionally, spiritually. We have to gear up. And the very last thing, and maybe the most important thing that I see myself needing to make a goal this year, is to mercy up. And I know, all these others we've heard before, but mercy up. We need to mercy up. The Bible says, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. And we need to be sensitive to those around us, and know that there's people that need help. There are people that need mercy. They don't always look like you do. They don't always fit into this little mold that we try to make people fit into. But we need to be merciful. Someone was merciful to us. Most especially the Lord was merciful and is merciful to us. Mercy is not receiving what we deserve. And by the grace of God, He provided for us and makes a way for us. And we need to be that to other people. We need to be merciful to others. There's people out here that people look at and they say, well, they deserve what they're getting. They deserve that. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. They deserve what. But it's not our place. Our place is to be merciful, and the Lord calls us to be merciful. So I want to be better this year. I want to go throughout 2025 working on these things, working on wising up and filling up and showing up, gearing up, and mercy, being merciful and practicing mercy up. Do something for someone else. It's not always who you know. Sometimes it'll be somebody that you have no idea who they are, and you just feel led to do something for them. It's important for us to love those around us and to show God's love. Well, guys, it's getting darker. The lights on the shop have come on and shining down on me, and I hope that you've been able to see me. And I'm getting cold. It's cold out here. So I'm going to go in the house, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed our little visit. Hope that you don't think I meddled too much, that I stepped on too many toes. Remember that all these things that I've given you is just giving you examples of what I have felt like the Lord put on my heart for me to do this year. So I'm going to leave it right here, and I'm going to tell you that I love you guys. I really, really do. Keep looking well to the ways of your household. And until next time, we're gone.